Hi everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Hope you all are having a great day. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, all of us here at Sussex Squad. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Our faves are doing great. Even though they're just rolling along, doing their thing as usual. But before we get to them, I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Lydia. I know Lydia was here quite a bit earlier, so and I'm sure Lydia, you went off and came back. So and let's see who else is here. Annie is here, and Gwendolyn, and Joyce is here. Oh, she says, hello, pedal everyone. The new trailer is wonderful. Netflix has a fantastic marketing team. The royal family is not in the same league. Numbers don't lie. People do. So true. So true, Joyce. Lottie, and if you haven't seen the trailer, it is in the show note. On our community page. I put it there. If you are on Twitter, it's under Netflix. So I didn't see it in the on their YouTube pages yet. So I was trying to find a link from there, and I don't have it there. So the only link I have is what they have on Twitter. So hopefully you're able to watch it. But yeah, and we'll talk about that in a second. But let's see. Joan Commonwealther is here. Thank you. Lydia is here again. Welcome all joining. Hello, my friend. Jen is here, and Auntie Jane is here, and Diane and Kathy, and oh, I love this unstoppable favor. I love that. Church Nelly, hey, Church Nelly, our awesome moderator. Oh, my days is here, and Claudia, and oh, Guerda. Ooh, I love that. Sifrain. Ooh. I'm telling you, you guys have some incredible character names. I love it. Maggie is here, and wait, I just saw you. Where did you go? This thing is jumping. Here we go. R. Carter is here, and Verda Sanchez, and Maverick. Maverick, I haven't seen you in a while. Have you been here and I just haven't noticed you? I haven't seen you. And I haven't seen Naughty Doctor either. But I'm happy you both are here. Hello, guys. Mad World. I mean, I know people are busy. You're busy with busy lives. So and Maggie is here. Wilson. Hi, Wilson. And Dolores and Bonnie and V. And thank you so much, Lottie, for your super sticker. I appreciate your support. Thank you. And Joan, see us here, and Mara and Noreen and Bright Eyes PBJ. Bright Eyes, you as well. I haven't seen you in a while. But I'm happy you are here and educate you as well. So I'm happy you guys are here. We'll get to all of our other friends as we go on. But hello. So our friends at Netflix just dropped this today, probably less than an hour ago. They dropped a new trailer and wanting us to know all the big news with all the numbers and all of that stuff. And I think, did I talk about this a few days ago? Because I keep forgetting about them. That Earthshot stuff that was only like, 3.4 million in the UK? Watch that. It says on the PBS side, it says 4 million in the, I guess whoever watched PBS, which is a lot more than I even thought for PBS. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But 3.4, they made it to like I think number 10, and then for the week or the night, and then overall their ratings in the UK didn't make the top 20. So I just stopped looking after the top 20. But look at our faves. I mean, compare 3.4 million of their citizens to 175 million watch hours. I mean, it's just like, and they still think they're in league with our face. It's like, look, you can't compete where you don't compare. You know what I mean? This is amazing. So this is what Netflix put out today. Our biggest documentary debut ever. Harry and Meghan on Netflix. And at the bottom it says, the world is captivated by Harry and Meghan. And over 175 million hours watched. Biggest documentary ever. Top 10 in 85 countries. And it is so amazing because the first batch of it, the volume 1, they had 81 million views, and then for the second volume it jumped up to 91 million views. So it's just like much bigger in this. I mean, this is just a phenomenon. People can't get enough of the love story. I love it. So I hope you guys got a chance to watch the if you haven't already, I hope you had a chance to watch it. It is in our community page. The link is there. So yeah, but it is just so exciting. It is so exciting for this. I am so excited for the Sussexes. I just and of course at Shutter Island, they're trying to do anything to distract from this amazing news, because we know they did everything. They threw everything, including the kitchen sink, to make this, to distract people or to, dissuade people from watching it. And the world is watching. And that is the thing that I think, it's even, I even posted about this yesterday, because I think in terms of, say, publicity and marketing and all that stuff, for some reason, reporters in the UK just assume that the world only consists of the UK and the US media. And I'm like, I don't understand it. I'm like, there's a huge world out there that, that is much bigger than the US and the UK. And for some reason, it's always a narrative of, oh, the Sussexes are playing for the American audience. And I was like, that's your big problem. Your problem is you can only see the US and the UK. And your big get is the US audience. Yes, the US audience is big, but it's nowhere compared to the global audience. And that is that is why Harry and Meghan they couldn't function, because it's like the US audience doesn't compare with the global audience. It's a huge, that's why so many blockbusters don't even premiere in the US. They premiere in markets like China and, Japan and all these other countries, because they understand, that there's a bigger world out there. There's a bigger market out there. And so that for some reason, that message has not gotten into the UK press for some reason. And so it's fantastic. I just think it's so wonderful. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for the production team. They're all celebrating. This is Story Syndicate. This is the production company for Liz Garbus, who is the director. She and her partner, her producing partner, owns Story Syndicate, and they're the ones that produce this with Archwell. And so they tweeted it, even though Variety is on my, they're in my doghouse right now. They were the only ones with the story, and that's who Story Syndicate their photo screenshot of. So I was like, okay. So Story Syndicate says Harry and Meghan leapfrogs its own record as Netflix all-time most watched documentary with 97.7 million streaming hours in 7 days. Oh, that's right. Okay. So the first week was 81, and now this 7 days it's 97. So much more people watch this. So many more millions watch this, the second part. And it's amazing. And I think a lot of that 97 million is me, because I keep watching it over and over. Especially the second part. I was like, oh, I can't get enough, And then also they tweeted, and after dropping its final 3 episodes on December 15th, Harry and Meghan beat its showing from last week, which had already made Netflix the biggest documentary debut of all time. It was watched by 97.7 million hours between December 12th and December 18th, compared to the previous 81.6 million. It's presumed that the series might have led the chart if it had debuted during a different part of the year. But the staying power of Wednesday, which is the Addams Family show, has been hard to beat. Still, with only 4 days of availability of the last 3 episodes measured so far, it seems likely that Harry and Meghan will continue to endure on the chart. So I am like, this is there are some plates flying across in some incandescent happenings in a palace in the nether regions of the UK. Some plates and glasses and maybe people flying across the room. Yes, I'm telling you, this is I am so happy. I am so, and it is sad in a way because it's like you know because of the story that they're telling, because it's not just a story, it's not just a fairy tale, it is their life and in the trauma that they experienced. But I'm like, you know what, if you're gonna go through all of those things, get some joy out of it, get some satisfaction out of it. And one, that you shared your story, two, that other people are going to, get help because of it, of, whether it's leaving toxic relationships or leaving toxic family members or, putting up boundaries or whatever it is, messages that people get out of it. That is also a big plus. And also, too, telling your story and it be a success where millions and millions and billions of people are watching. And the thing with narcissistic people or breaking out of narcissistic relationships and narcissistic family dynamics is the goal of a narcissist is, one, to make nobody believe you. Their thing is like, we're going to pound you and we're going to discredit you and destroy your name to the point where nobody will believe you, so that they will not know how miserable and evil and wicked we are. And so this is a success in that so many people, I mean, even reporters who are like, US reporters who had issues and attitudes with Meghan and Harry talking about, sharing their story, they're all like, oh wow, now that I've seen it, I really now understand their point of view and why they leave. And you know what, good for them. So I see so much of that around Twitter. I mean, again, that's the only platform I follow anything royal on. So and so it's really, really awesome to see, they're seeing the fruits of their labor, even if it's something so painful that they had to share. So I'm like, look, good for them. Netflix is happy, Spotify is happy. So they are delivering in every way on whatever content. And of course, on the 31st, we're going to have another content drop that they have been a part of and are presenting. And so I am so happy for all of the people that, and again, it started out with Harry and Meghan having a fly on the wall docuseries, fly on the wall, reality show. And obviously, as we talked about, many in the US still didn't get the point that it's not a fly on the wall documentary. It's not a Kardashian part 2, but it is a real heartbreaking story, but also a really beautiful love story of two people trying to navigate a space that is just toxic in every sense of the word, on top of having their, rabid, vile press on everything you do. So yeah. I am just so happy to see this. Oh, Walking Dead Junkie. Hello, Walking Dead Junkie. Says, I hope Netflix revisits Pearl. I know, but with Netflix and animation, they just cut another animated show that they have. So I don't know. They're probably just getting rid of that whole department completely, because when they cut Pearl, was a whole bunch of other shows, including those from Anna DuVernay and so many of others. Ava DuVernay, I always call her Anna, and a bunch of other animated shows they cut, and so they're still cutting. And so I don't know. Maybe they're just getting rid of that complete department. They definitely shredded it, and so maybe just another service and another outlet. I could see maybe Disney or one of those picking it up if if they're still shopping it. So, and also Liz Garbus, who directed this, was also going to be was also doing that one as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that would be nice. We were all jonesing to get Pearl, so hey. Let's see. Ooh. Diane says, I laughed with them, cry with them, and mostly smile as I feel so warm for their beautiful love. I know. It's like, and you're like, no wonder people, you can see those people who are jealous and really wishing they were having that, living the fairy tale, are angry and in all kinds of ways. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to see some of the jealousy. It's just like, you could just write jealous across yourself because everything you're saying, that's what is screaming at me. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. That Meghan. So yeah. Joan says, plus Harry and Meghan are getting paid, making their own money. Yeah, exactly. They are getting paid. They're making their own money. They're not, they're not taxpayer funded. So, hey, they can do whatever it is they want to do with their production company. So there you go. And Story Syndicate, this is a little bit more from them. I was directed to their Instagram page, and so they said thank you for re-breaking our own record as Netflix's most watched documentary of all time. After dropping its final 3 episodes on December 15th, Harry and Meghan beat its showing from last week, which had already been Netflix's biggest documentary debut of all time. It is watched 97.7 million times. I think he's just repeating what it said before. And so grateful for everyone that made this possible. And they must be just rejoicing, celebrating biggest documentary. And again, they really focus on documentary. I think that's mostly what Story Syndicate does. So, and this obviously is their biggest one ever. And Genevieve Rock, who is a friend of Meghan's, she tweeted this like, class throat. And at the bottom, she kind of basically just she posted this on her stories. Liz Garbus her thing. So, and the bottom list says, thank you everyone who worked quite tirelessly making this project a reality. And goodness, it's amazing. It's so wonderful. And it must be so satisfying too. Talk about a Christmas present or a Hanukkah present or whatever, you celebrate at this time. This must be such an incredible experience for all of them. So kudos to all of them. And yes, even though again, Variety is in my doghouse, but they are the only ones that have the full breakdown of the shows and stuff and what they, where they place. And again, you see Wednesday all the way up there. It's so funny. I watched Wednesday, an episode of Wednesday, and I was like, okay, this is really a teenager show. I'm like, I could guess. I mean, the whole thing is like, I could guess the whole plot before I was like, yeah, this is not for me. But I like her. I mean, I like her. I like the goth thing, that's all happening. But it's just, as a grown person, it's like, okay, it's a teenage show and it's cool. And I could see why teenagers are into it. It kind of has that creepy kind of Twilight-esque kind of feel, even more goth than that. So I could totally see why they are teenagers, and I'm sure adults as well are totally into Wednesday. Were I a teenager, I would probably be binge watching this too. So I totally get it. So as you can see in the yellow, 97.710 million people watching and counting. So it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah. Let's see. Felish. Hi, Felish babe. Hello. Welcome. Felish babe says, I'm watching the whole documentary again. I feel like I'm watching the whole documentary again. I feel like I missed something. It's so true. Every time I've watched it, I see something that I hadn't noticed before. And it's just wild. And it's so, I mean, it's filled with so many things. Or I see a photo that maybe I was looking away for a second and missed, or whatever it is. And so I absolutely love it. So how many times have you guys watched it? I would love to know. I mean, am I the only one who are just like watching this over and over? I mean, am I just the crazy one? So anyway, Maverick says, no Wednesday for me, not the least bit interested. Oh, Maverick is not into Wednesday. Again, it's anybody can watch it, obviously, but it's very much a teenager. And again, if I were a teenager or even younger, I would totally be into it. My brain is just beyond that. And so when I saw the episode, I was just like, oh, this is cute. But I mean, when you can sit there and figure out everything that's gonna happen, that's not for you. So that magic isn't there for me, but I could totally see why teens are in it. Let's see. All the Impossible says, but have you noticed no more calling for the title? I dare the tabloids still waiting for anything about Tyler Perry in the docuseries. Just quiet on him. Oh yeah, I mean, now that whole narrative has been kicked to the curb. I actually saw an article I may have, or at least a screenshot talking about titles, but it's so muted now because I think people realize that's just stupid. And then, the moment everyone know, I mean, there are now 97, over 70 something million people have heard that Harry and Meghan offered to give back the titles, then it becomes mute to try to say, well, you should strip their title. I mean, it's like, you just look stupid. I mean, it looked stupid before, but even now it's even more stupid. So yeah, I mean, but times are and stories are drying up. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone just, I need to make some money, so let's put it out there. So yeah. Diane said, did the nanny say she bought her shoes on class? I'm not sure what that means, but I still smiled and nodded along as she told her cute story. I don't know what unclass means. Maybe that's a British thing. Maybe our British squaddies could tell us what that means. But I just thought, for me, I thought she meant like she got new shoes and everything, thinking, and then she came and saw Harry in bare feet because they're all about bare feet. So maybe I need to watch it again and see what she means. So, and that's one of the things I love about Harry and Meghan is like they're always bare feet. They're just so about their feet in the earth they're very just earthy people. And so even Daria's walking around, the kids are all bare feet. It's like, just chilling. Let's see. Sarah Dumpin. Hi, Sarah Dumpin. How are you? Sarah says, I remember when the British media were talking about Netflix and Spotify want their money back from Harry and Meghan because they will not be able to produce anything now. Shame on the BM. They do look stupid. And on the other hand, because they were so, like little piranhas and little chihuahuas, really, about, not piranhas, chihuahuas, I meant, about everything Harry and Meghan. And they're like, nah, 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 nah. They have provided millions and millions and millions of dollars in advertising that Netflix never have to pay for. They never have to pay to advertise anything in the UK when it comes to the Sussexes at all. They could just put something on Twitter and that's all they need to do. They literally have to spend no money, especially in the UK, because the chihuahuas that's the British press will do all of it for them. It's the most amazing thing. It was like, oh, thanks. And as the minute anything drops, they're the first to run and watch it. And it's just like, oh, okay, thanks for hate watching. Hi, Nalathandu. Nalathandu says, season's greetings from South Africa to you, Pedal Noel squaddies. Let's the love of God as reflected in the Sussex spread out to all the squaddies and their families. Oh, blessings, Nalathandu. Blessings. Thank you for the blessings. Thank you for the greetings. Such wonderful, positive post. I think in terms of tweet. I always say tweet. But thank you, Nalathandu. Season's greetings to you as well and all the wonderful squaddies out there in South Africa. So sending you all our love. So anyways, let's see what else we have. I have this whole story about trolls, but I think I'm going to do that on another show. It's just too much. I today I just kind of want to celebrate and revel in Sussex, winning and all of that. I mean, I got a couple of things for the UK as well. Their madness, but I don't want to get into too deep. So there's a story I want to talk about, but I think we'll do that in another episode. But let's see what else we have. Oh yes, these three. Let's see what we got. So these are the production team. Some of the production team from the I guess they either work with Story Syndicate, putting Harry and Meghan together. So I'm gonna move my little scrolly thing at the bottom here. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. And we'll talk about the rest later. So anyway, so this is kind of cool. Again, this is from the production team, Thor, and thank you so much, one of our squaddies, for posting it. Harry and Meghan on Netflix. Yoon_strawberry, that's who posted it. So thank you, Yoon, for giving you some your credit for posting this on Twitter. And it says, we had a code name for this project. So this is one of the crew for Harry and Meghan. It says, we had a code name for this project. We're chased by paparazzi and sworn to secrecy like no other project before. It's been an amazing experience to getting to know M&H, or Meghan and Harry, and their team, and support them in telling their story. Thank you, Liz Garbus, for collaborating again, and thank you for the incredible teamwork at Story Syndicate, the team at Archwell, and Chanel Bell, that amazing Carrie Obley, and my brilliant DP collaborator, Mummy or Manny's New York City. The show will run 6 parts soon. So that was one of the crew for Harry and Meghan. And another one, Carrie Obley says, thank you to everyone who watched Harry and Meghan. What an incredible honor it's been to be part of this series with the most dedicated, hardworking, creative, thoughtful, and caring team. Thank you, my friend Thorsten Thurlow, Liz Garbus, Eric Session, Dan Kogan, Unama, Samantha Gordon, Axel Bauman, and all the other people that they named there. And you can see, and down at the bottom, Chanel Pisnick and the Archwell team, the amazing Story Syndicate team, and the entire team. And thank you to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex family and friends for your bravery and vulnerability. And again, these, compared to what we heard in Kensington Palace, these are people who actually worked with them for about a year and something. They've been working on this documentary, 2 years, however long they've been working on it. And these are the crew talking. And then Giona Jefferson says, on the right says, it's been a busy year. Shout out to the all-star team who brought this story to the screen. Part 1 is out today. So these are, again, these are from the production crew, in whatever ways they were, I guess looking at the screen credits, which actually gets very small and you can hardly read it because I'm watching it on my computer, and to see who is what and who did what on the documentary. So it is just wonderful to see the production crew, how amazing they are, and just so happy to have worked with Harry and Meghan. And again, these are professional people. They're not the crazy, unprofessional mess that is Kensington Palace. These are professional people working to get the story together and get it up and out. So it's wonderful to see. It is really, really wonderful to see that they all had a great experience doing it. And I also love the fact that, she talked about, that there was like a code of silence like she'd never had, chased by paparazzi and a whole bit. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing because, as we know, our faves they do things on the down low, no leaking stuff. So yeah, it's just, although somebody leaked something, but on the whole, nobody really knew the crux of what the story is and how it was going to be. So yeah, so I love that. And Project Fearless. We talked about them before when Harry and Meghan were at The Hague for the Invictus Games. Meghan met with Project Fearless. And so, and we had these beautiful pictures of Meghan with the girls. And Project Fearless, as you know, if you blink, you might have missed them, but you saw a photo of Meghan there with the girls. And I think it was a little video of them with the girls in the docu-series. And so they were very excited. They also posted about it. They says, Project Fearless, we're featured in the Harry and Meghan Netflix series. And it said, we're featured in Harry and Meghan Netflix series. Super cool to catch a glimpse of our Project Fearless crew in episode 6. So we wanted to revisit the great day and share some photos. Earlier this year, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, joined our first entrepreneurship course as a guest coach. Over the 8-week program, 14 girls learned from female entrepreneurs, role models, and explored the fail early, fail often growth mindset that's key for innovation. Meghan gave the girls inspiration and encouraging feedback on their sustainable business pitches and enthusiastically joined in with the group exercise on facing fear. It was an experience of a lifetime. And of course, if you guys would remember these beautiful pictures that they shared earlier this year about it. And the wonderful thing again, Invictus Games was going on. None of us knew that Meghan did this until long after the games were done in Project Fearless, and Archwell shared this. So it was just wonderful, and I'm glad that that they were in it and they're featured and they were excited to be a part of it. So there you go. I absolutely think I absolutely think it was awesome. So yeah. And a little bit more happening. Archwell did their Christmas, giving, and this was on Archwell. So if you haven't been over there, sometimes I'm like, Archwell, hurry up and update your website. They haven't even updated the website yet with Harry and Meghan. They haven't updated it yet with the new doc coming out, Live to Lead. So I'm like, people, hurry up and update that so we can, be blasting it out and publicizing it for you. Not that they need more publicity for Harry and Meghan docuseries, but you never know. It was just good to see it on the site, but it's not there yet. So who knows when it's going to be there. But this is a bit of news they posted yesterday. On Friday, Archwell team included the Archwell Foundation, Archwell Audio, and Archwell Production gathered to celebrate the holidays and participate in the This Is About Humanity annual holiday party for reunified families represented by Immigration Defenders Law Center. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Led by the Archwell Foundation, the company organized holiday gifting for over 30 reunified and refugee families. This Is About Humanity creates a community of allies and advocates dedicated to raising awareness about separated and reunified families and children at the Mexican border. So those are the packages. I guess they helped packaged it and gave it out. So yeah, it's just wonderful. And the Immigration Defenders Law Center, they posted on their I guess it's their Instagram stories, and so they were excited about the recognition from Harry and Meghan. So they posted and they said, this recognition for the This Is About Humanity and IMDF_Lawrence Center by Prince Harry and Meghan is so wonderful. Well done. And Elsa Marie Collins and Zoe Winkler-Rains. So yeah, so they're excited to get the recognition, and they're these organizations needs it. Any kind of help that Harry and Meghan give, highlighting it, bringing it out there, more and more people know about them and more people would be donating. So, which is fantastic. So the Immigration Defense Center says, IMDF is incredibly grateful for the support of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, through the Archwell Foundation for supporting our MDF families at last weekend's This Is About Humanity hosted the annual holiday party for reunified families in Los Angeles. Our MDF clients enjoyed gifts, food, games, center, and so much more. Our families were able to walk away with full hearts into the happy holiday season. This is what welcoming asylum seekers with dignity looks like. And so again, we've seen them do this with Afghan immigrants, and now they're doing it at the Mexican border. So it is wonderful for at least refugees who came in from the Mexican border. So it is just wonderful to see what they are doing. So kudos, Archwell, for the work that you are doing. So yeah, so I'm gonna go into the chat for a second before we continue and see what you all are saying. Gwendolyn says, yeah, Harry and Meghan are always helping. They're always helping people. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Lydia says, this is an awesome giveaway. Very kind. Yeah, very, very kind. There are a lot of different organizations that donated the gifts, and I think Archwell went in there and probably helped them, package them and give it out. And it's so funny. Someone posted a photo of someone's hand doing face painting or something on one of the kids, and they're like, "This is Megan's hand." It kind of did look like her hand. It was very wild. I'm like, oh my goodness, only the squad would know Megan's hand. It was just like, ooh. So they did a whole bunch of stuff, and then they had also a bunch of different organizations actually donating the presents for the kids. So yeah. Irene says the nanny didn't say class. She's referring to a well-known shoe shop called Clark's. Oh. Thank you so much. So Clark's. So okay, there you go. So I guess it's a well-known shoe shop in the UK called Clark's. So there you go. That's what she's saying. Okay. Thank you so much, Irene. I appreciate that correction. Let's see. Oh, Caligar saying the same thing. I think she said it was at Clark's. Clark's is a British shoe manufacturer. Thank you. See, this is why I love an educated audience that the thing. I appreciate it so much. When I don't have a clue, you have a clue. At least somebody on here have a clue. So thank you, because I had no clue. And I don't know if I've ever heard of Clark's. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Joy says, she's talking to C-Mac. This is so much that Harry and Meghan. Oh, there is so much that H&M or Harry and Meghan can report. You have to pick out the most important. I am sure there are many things weren't covered in the docuseries. Maybe it will be in the book. Oh my gosh. I have I have a list of things that they could have covered and they didn't cover. I mean, so many things. And so I think also, as you're saying, it's right. They pick the thing that they want, and something that, go, because there are so many different areas you can go with it, that it could be, it could just detract from what they want, the story they wanted to tell and the way they wanted to frame it or say it. So yeah, I'm sure maybe the book will have things that's not in the docuseries, as Oprah had some things that weren't in the docuseries, and the docuseries that had things that weren't in Oprah. So yeah, so I'm expecting for the book, I am expecting a lot. Obviously, it's going to be from his childhood up to, I'm assuming, marrying. And so what I'm expecting, or what I'm thinking maybe, is just, a lot about his relationships with his dad and his brother, obviously, his mom, and the military. And so that's, for me, is where I'm thinking the chunk of the book might be, so, and of course, dealing with mental health and stuff like that. So who knows? But I am excited. I am very, very, very excited. So yeah. Let's see. Joy says there are no leaks with the Sussex theme. That's why we know the leaks are in the UK were intentional. Yeah. And a lot of times, especially with, I was thinking back to when we started hearing about that they're doing this docuseries. Well, they were saying a fly on the wall, reality show. And so I've been trying to think back of what, when we heard it, what was going on and where exactly the New York Post would have gotten that leak, so who knows? I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't figured that out yet. So yeah. But yeah, interesting. But again, the crux of it, we didn't know. They were still on the it's a reality show nonsense. So yeah. Um Sorry, Church Nelly's like, this world is working my nerves. Well, Church Nelly, at least your nephew or whoever it was that always steals your phone, at least they didn't steal it this time. So there you go. uh, let's see. Diane Hawkins says, doesn't Jessica Mulrooney's family have a Clark shoe connection? Were they founders? Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. I know they do like a shoebox thing for Christmas that they give away, I guess, clothes or something or whatever it is. I hadn't paid much attention to what it is, but I don't know. I never thought of it actually being like connected to shoes per se. But I don't know. That's something to look into. So if their family is connected to the Clark shoes, that'd be interesting. Let's see. Joan Commonwealth says Clark's is a great brand in my country. Only people with money could afford it. Oh, well, there you go. Wow. There you go. So I'm assuming a nanny or nurse got some really cool shoes, so good for her. And, you run around with kids and all that stuff, you need some good comfy shoes or just go bare feet. If you're like me, it's like when I talk kids, it's like, bare feet is it. So, let's see. Well, let's go move on and see what else I have. We're going to jump over to Shutter Island for a second and the messiness of Jeremy Clarkson and the royal family. Buckingham Palace are yet to comment on Jeremy Clarkson's attack on Meghan Markle. And at the bottom, if you see at the bottom says, Camilla refuses to condemn Camilla refuses to condemn Jeremy Clarkson over hateful Meghan Markle column. Buckingham Palace's issue is yet to issue a statement over the attack on the royal family member. And a little bit about the article. From the article, I'm just going to move our little brand over there. Yep, let's take that out of the way. And a little bit from the article, it says, so far there has been no official statement on behalf of King Charles and Camilla, the Queen Consort. Despite the target of Clarkson's attack being a member of the royal family, Camilla is known for her campaign work to prevent violence against women. And it was only last month that she warned of a global pandemic of violence against women at a palace event. And we know how that went with her staff abusing Ngozi Fulani. It goes on to say, Yahoo News understands, in spite of her not saying it, what is it Camilla is concerned about? Yahoo News UK understands that the palace is, however, angry that some of the media coverage of the lunch attended by both Camilla and Clarkson last week. The event last Friday was attended by numerous high-profile individuals such as Dame Judi Dench, Claudia Winkleman, and Piers Morgan. Like if that helps, who left his role hosting Good Morning Britain in March after repeatedly criticizing Meghan, or shall we say abusing Meghan. It was held at Michelin-starred restaurant Murano in Mayfair and hosted by the former head of Royal Grocer Fortnum and Mason Ewan's vendors. Yeah, and we remember that Fortnum Mason. That's the same one that shopping bag that King Charles had that 3 million euros from those Qatari officials. Yeah, that same people. The palace is understood to feel that any attempt to link Camilla and Clarkson's comment because they attended the same lunch together is highly misleading. No, it isn't, Camilla, because Jeremy Clarkson is your friend. He was actually in your documentary talking about going and having, some ciggies with you. Or I guess what do they call it? Fags or something they call it in the UK? That they would sneak out for some? Yeah, because Jeremy Clarkson is your friend. And the palace is so careful with everything and they choreograph everything. So the fact that Jeremy Clarkson has abused Meghan before, the fact that Piers Morgan has been abusing Meghan for four or 5 years now. Shouldn't the palace raise questions that they would be in attendance with the Queen Consort, who is supposedly an advocate for women, for abused women? Shouldn't they be like, no, we can't have that because I am an advocate for, for abused women. So therefore, it would not be a good, even if you're only doing it for the look of, I can't be seen in this environment because you two are abusive and I'm supposed to be advocating, as I was supposed to have done 2 weeks ago at the palace when Gursley Fulani was abused, And so the fact that didn't even cross their mind speaks to all of her supposed advocacy being just performative. All of it. And the fact that, God, just about everybody and their mother, brother, and dog are speaking out against this brutal, despicable attack on from Jeremy Clarkson on Meghan. And the palace, again, and Camilla are silent. It speaks to your complicity with this. You are fine with it. And then, when Jeremy Clarkson says people my age think the same way, I believe him. I literally believe him. I believe him because you know what happened? Nothing is going to happen to Jeremy Clarkson. The Sun didn't remove that article until he asked them to remove it. That would have still been there if Jeremy Clarkson hadn't asked them to remove it. Most likely, his daughter probably went after him because as we saw, his daughter was like, she posted that she was completely against what he did. That would have still been there. He's still going to have his job at the Sun. ITV just announced today that, oh, yes, what he did was deplorable, but he's still going to have his job as whatever millionaire show that he does in for ITV. And the ITV guy, president, whatever he is, was like, yeah, I don't know what he was thinking at the moment when he wrote when he wrote what he wrote. And I'm like, it's pretty clear from what he wrote, what he was thinking. That is very, very clear. Nobody has to wonder what Jeremy Clarkson was thinking. We know very well what he was thinking when he wrote that vicious attack on Meghan. And so again, everybody and their dog, cat, monkey, sheep, whatever, has been condemning this. But the royal family are silent again. And so I am so happy this is happening now because the global audience, the spotlight is on them. I am so happy. It's like whenever Harry and Meghan do things, it's like karma, the gods, the ancestors are like, okay, this is what Harry and Meghan are talking about. Let's just make it, let's just shine a spotlight on it and let's just give you an example of what it is here. And so many people now who were like, well, I don't know, Harry and Meghan are talking too much, whatever. All of a sudden they're seeing exactly what Harry and Meghan spoke about in that documentary, and that the overriding thing I keep hearing over and over and over and over and over, what Jeremy Clarkson just did just completely proves exactly what Harry and Meghan said in that documentary. And it exposes the royal family and their complicity with the abuse. She can't speak out against Jeremy Clarkson. Why? She is a part of it. She is part of the press. I mean, we have, done episodes where, and maybe I should have brought it in. I'm just thinking about it now, where the Sun newspaper, what was Prince Charles? Well, he was Prince Charles at the time, 70th birthday. Where was it held? At the Sun. There, the Sun made him a cake and everything. There are pictures with him, with the birthday cake, with the Sun on it. Pictures with them, with Arthur Edwards and all of that at their party. I mean, they can't speak out. Why? Because they're in bed with the Sun. The way they could not speak out when especially the Daily Mail, was attacking Ngozi Fulani, they can't. Why? Because they're in bed with the Daily Mail. They can't speak out about Jeremy Clarkson. Why? She's a friend of Jeremy Clarkson. What is she going to say? And I'm glad that the world is getting to see it right there in 4K. And so it's incredible to see. And if that wasn't even enough, here we are again. with MPs, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. I think this was yesterday. So you guys, I'm sure. I think Ann Redis. I don't remember Baron. You may have. Oh wait, I saw Baron in here. I meant to say hi. Where are you, Baron? You are in here. I saw you. Oh no. Oh, here you are, Royal Sussex. How are you? Happy you're here. But I'm sure you guys went through this yesterday, so I'm going to go through it. But for those of you who weren't on Royal Sussex or Duchess of Success, this is a letter from MPs, over 60 MPs. Again, writing a letter about the abuse of the Duchess of Sussex, over 60 MPs, just like they did, in 2019. And just let the same thing happen again for the world, now a global audience, to see the royal family, they are silent. And it's amazing. And I love this. I'm going to see if I can read part of this because I love the forcefulness of it that is kind of missing in some organizations that have tweeted about it. But I love the forcefulness, and hopefully some of it will be, they can make some changes. And if nothing else, that this horrendous thing bring change, this would have been worth it. Because so many women are dying, so many women are being abused. I'm not saying that's not happening in the UK, but there's like an epidemic in the UK. And so if this bring about some change, amen, hallelujah. But it says, and this is from the honorary Carolyn Knowles, the MP who did this who wrote this letter and got the other MPs. And this is men, women from both sides, whether it's Tories and also conservatives, Tories, and also Labor. I guess that's the other part of it. So they have MPs from both sides, men and women, who have signed this. And so it says, and this is to Miss Newton, who is the editor of The Sun, who allowed this article to go out, says, "There, Miss Newton, we are horrified at the recent article by Jeremy Clarkson in your publication. As parliamentarians of every persuasion, we condemn in the strongest terms the violent, misogynistic language against the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. This sort of language has no place in our country, and it is unacceptable that it is allowed to be published in a mainstream newspaper." Why is The Sun a mainstream newspaper? That's for another story. "Miss Markle has faced multiple credible threats to her life, requiring the intervention of the Metropolitan Police. Hateful articles like this are not like this one written by Mr. Clarkson do not exist in a vacuum, and directly contributes to the unacceptable climate of hatred and violence. We are deeply concerned about the role modeling being promoted to young men and boys, that they can verbally attack a woman without consequence, or that it is okay to use violent image to address women that you might disagree with. You will no doubt know how violence against women and girls have surged across Britain in the recent years. We must do better. Enough is enough. We cannot allow this type of behavior to go unchecked any longer. We welcome the Sun's retraction of the article. We now demand action to be taken against Mr. Clarkson, and an unreserved apology is issued to Miss Markle immediately. We further demand definitive action to be taken to ensure no article like this is ever published again." And so I applaud the forcefulness. I applaud the look. We are over it. This is enough is enough. And this should have been enough such a long time ago. But I applaud this. So we will see. As I said before, he's still hired by The Sun. ITV still has him on, and nothing is happening there. And I learned today that he doesn't what he wrote in there. It apparently isn't like a police investigation isn't warranted. I mean, the police are like, no, we don't. We're not going to investigate someone's, I guess, opinion, whatever it is. But apparently, that's not against their rules either. So who knows? And as far as I understand, as of last night, over 22,000 complaints have been made against Jeremy Clarkson's letter to the very, I don't even know why the IPSO exists, because they are the most useless organizations. They are literally, it was created by the tabloid or the press. They created this supposed body that's supposed to regulate them. It is so bad that in the middle of getting all of these complaints, the head of the IPSO was supposed to be meeting with Rupert Murdoch until he was shamed into canceling the meeting. I mean, this is, it is, I'm like, oh my gosh. It is hilarious. The thing, and it not hilarious, haha, but it's just like, oh my God. It is just, it's really, really, really reprehensible. Just, yes. Anyways, let's see. I'm gonna jump into your chat for a second and just see what you guys are saying. Mercedes says, if the royals don't bend over in Greece, okay. We'll just that's a little YouTube might ban me if I go on. Let's see. Educate2 says, it is an epidemic throughout the world. The life of women and girls are under threat. Yeah. I mean, throughout the world. I mean, I remember in South Africa when Harry and Meghan were there was so much gender-based violence, violence against women in the UK, also in the US. I mean, it is everywhere. And it's like, my thing with this whole thing with Jeremy Clarkson is, yes, the Sun has power. Yes, the ITV has power. Yes, advertiser has power. But the ultimate power stands with the people. They can't do what they do if the people don't buy. And again, I go back to what we consume. If you are, if the Sun is being this and you are continually buying it, well, they'll just continue because they assume you like what they're putting out there. If the Daily Mail is being as hateful as they are and vengeful and destructive and all the things that they're doing to people's lives, and people are buying it, then they're just going to continue because they just assume you love it. If people stop buying it, if people stop consuming it, as some parts of Liverpool, they have put the kibosh to the Sun, they do not sell the Sun. If the UK would stop, especially if women will stop and speak out and don't allow this to just be like, oh, another thing, and we go right back, and which is what the royal family and ITV heads and Sun are doing. They're just waiting for because they just assume, okay, the uproar about this is going to fade out in about a week or so, and then we'll go on to continuing to abuse Meghan and Harry, and then especially Meghan, and we'll just escalate it, because we know when we escalate it, we'll get more press, we'll get more attention, we'll get more all of that stuff. If they don't put a stop to it, it's just going to escalate. And it's just, that's all that's going to happen. And so I say the people of the UK need to get serious. Do they want change or not? Because if you don't want change, you're just going to let it go. It's just going to blow over in a week, and the Sun and ITV and all their advertisers would be correct. But if you really want to change, and if you really care about the women, including your own life, you are going to fight. You're going to organize. You're going to fight. You're going to boycott. You're going to get your voice heard. You are going to go after them until they change. The power is with the people. Again, if you don't consume what they're selling, they are going to fail. The only reason that they're not failing is the people have not allowed them to. They keep buying it. And so we will see what the UK people are made of. Are they really serious about change? Are they really serious about getting rid of the disgusting, vile, cesspool tabloid culture, especially that they have in the UK? Are they serious? Someone was mentioning about Jacinda Ardern. They were saying, well, how come New Zealand don't have this toxic, I don't remember if someone was saying it yesterday. Baron, was that you that was talking about this yesterday? It may have been you that I heard this from, where they were saying that the reason that they don't have this toxic culture in New Zealand is because they refuse to allow Rupert Murdoch and his News Corp into their country. And I have said this over and over, whatever country News Corp is, it's going to be like the US, Australia, and the UK. It is like this disgusting vileness that comes with that brand. It just like, infected the US, it's infected the UK and Australia. And unless you get rid of News Corp, it will destroy all of our countries. Especially in the UK, again, they also have not just Rupert Murdoch, they also have Lord Runnemans and his Daily Mail, Mail on Sunday, all of that stuff. That is now very much in the US. And so, again, it's like, what kind of country do you want? What kind of a culture do you want? There's so much you could be like, oh, it's free speech. Nah, that's not about free speech. That's about destroying people. So we'll see. We will see. That it would be a real shame to have all of this outrage and all of this passion for change and it just die because people refuse to follow through or refuse to really go after ITV. Stop watching it. Boycott whatever their advertisers. Whatever you need to do, because again, especially for the women and girls in the UK, this is literally your life. You're literally fighting for your lives. And I think the women and girls in Iran is such a good example, a great example to follow of people who will do whatever it needs to do, including put their life on the line to have that, make the change that they want to see. And you don't want to see anybody die, obviously, but it's like, how much do you want it? So anyway, we will see. We will see. Maggie Howell says, years of hate over a wife whose husband decided to leave town with her. Don't understand it. One man out of all the other royals. Yeah, they all think they own him. They all think they own Harry. They all had fantasies of, marrying into the royal family, and no amount of telling them that this fantasy is fake, it is a fraud, it is no amount of, it's like, no. It's like they can't give up the idea of marrying into the royal family is this fantasy life and they're going to be princess with the crowns. And it's like no amount of, exposing it is going. Some people, I guess, they have to experience the pain themselves, I guess. Unbelievable. Marian says, I don't think there is any way all haters will be stopped. There are folks that are just logical. There are some here in the US that are buying what the UK tabloid said. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's so true. They're not going to be, you're not going to convince everybody. I mean, you look at, say, MAGA. I mean, that honestly, that's the US version of this mess. It's like, it doesn't matter how much truth you put in front of them. They're not going to believe it. And that is totally, I get that. But reasonable thinking people, people who can reason, So, thank you. No, Murdoch. Thank you, Royal Sussex. I mean, we need to get rid of that, get rid of him and Lord Rothermere. It's just that I don't understand. I don't understand why these are national news. And I think also too, when people talk about tabloids, especially the UK, and I think a lot of times when we talk about tabloids in the US, I think there's a misconception too with what that means and how different tabloids in the US is from tabloids in the UK. And again, for those of you who don't realize it, tabloids in the UK is mainstream news. For example, The Sun and the Daily Mail and the Mirror, and that's literally mainstream news, even though they're lying tabloids. That's mainstream news. You'll see them quoted in BBC or ITV or whatever. That's mainstream news. And actually, The Sun is one of the leading newspapers. So is the Daily Mail. Larger than the BBC. I'm not that the BBC is truthful. They are just as a mess, but they're probably, a step above, maybe, if you want to call it that. But again, their tabloids is that. In the US, that's not the case. There is a clear line in the US between tabloids and between mainstream news media. There's some of them that are little, you could be like, okay, they're People magazine, that's more entertainment, or Us magazine, which is a little lower down the road, more tabloidy. But there is a line, you don't find, other than when, say, Trump was, they were, doing some mess with Trump and selling. So I don't remember even the whole mess with Trump. That became mainstream news that originated in the Inquirer. I think it was originated. That's when that has become mainstream news, because you're dealing with a president. And that's where that story originated. But other than that, it's not the norm. You don't see, people quoting the National Enquirer or Hollywood Life or one of those tabloid things. Yes, are they popular? Yeah, because people, they want to not think about their misery and they want to just read gossip that they know is a lie. But they're not mainstream news. So it's a very, very different culture, even though you'll have the, crazy okay and whatever else you see in the supermarkets. Again, there's a clear line of what they are. They are what they are. And there's a clear line that the mainstream media and the mainstream news is a very different thing. Not that, sometimes they don't too lie, but it's very clear different. So not to belabor that point. But anyways, moving on. There is this let's see. And that's very true, Baron. Very, very true, Baron. Says MAGA people identify with Brexit people, and Brexit people are identify with MAGA. Yeah, very, very much true. It's that right wing thing, and obviously with the MAGA people here, the royal families, like they're white supremacist mothership. So they go after Meghan and Harry. They Fox News, whatever. They all go after Harry and Meghan. They hate them because, again, royal family, white supremacist mothership. So yeah, so they very much relate to each other. It's really, really sick, unbelievable. So Ma Jones says, I agree with Royal Sussex. These people are trying to keep their white privilege. Yeah, and they are going to fight in every single way, shape, or form. I mean, look what they did. They almost took this country down. Hello, January 6th. That, the inquiry is still going on, and the the whole mess is still going on. And it's just like, I mean, whatever it takes to keep their white privilege, they will destroy this country if it means they keep that. So it is a scary thing. And the root of a lot of this stuff is Rupert Murdoch, especially in the US. Rupert Murdoch news outlets, Fox News, the New York Post, Wall Street Journal, all of them are Rupert Murdoch outlets. And all the others that he owns that are probably affiliates to that, local news. And all of the others that are, in the same vein as Fox News. Rupert Murdoch is like the center of all of this. So it just, again, for my thing is, democracy will not stand as long as him and his news outlet is in your country. And ours is just like hanging by the thread. So yeah. Let's see. There's this story that I am going to talk. I'm going to talk about it in the next episode. It's kind of long and convoluted, so I am going to talk about it. But just to give you a sort of a little thing, it's about a PR company in the UK that they were hired by Prince Andrew to sort of, Virginia, when the whole thing was blown up and they were going to court. They hired this PR company called Pagefield to, clean up his reputation and all of that stuff, and also hired them to basically create bots to go after Virginia. And this same PR company was hired by the royal family to do the PR for the Golden Jubilee. And this same PR people are part of that company who are, former press people. And those same people follow bots, all of those horrible Meghan bots, those horrible trolls that target Meghan on the daily. They also follow those shows. So it's a little bit convoluted. I was going to talk about it today, but it's a little bit long. So I'm going to do that on the next episode. But so just to give you a heads up on that one. But if you want to go research them, the link is already in the show notes. So you can go look up Pagefield. That's a PR company. And so we will talk about this the next episode. But it's sick. It is sick. And it really it makes you understand. When Chris Boozy did the report on all the trolling of Meghan and the 80 accounts that really is the center of all of that, And part of that is a royal reporter amplifying and royal. And one of the big things was like, well, who is funding this? Where is all this stuff coming from? And I feel like the pieces are coming together of where these things originate. And I wouldn't be surprised if Page Field is at the center of that. And so I'll talk about that next time. It is just really, really. Yes, really, really, really. And if you go ahead and read Pagefield, read up on this gentleman. He is called Martin Townsend. And if you're on Twitter, look up Martin Townsend on Twitter, and we can talk about it next time. So Martin Townsend, look him up from that Pagefield website. The link again is in the show notes, and read up on Martin Townsend. And again, he's on Twitter. So anyways, we'll move on, and we will come back to that tomorrow's episode. Let's see what else I got. This was kind of sad. I saw this, and this was mentioned in, Meghan talked about them in the Netflix series. This was, I guess, from one of the ladies, it seemed like, from the Hub Community Kitchen. She says, because Meghan went to help our beautiful sisters in Grenfell Tower disaster, the scum racist media said a member was involved with ISIS. All she was doing was feeding people in her community. And doesn't that tell you all you need to know about the UK press? And she's #Harry and Meghan. And obviously we know that the person who did this was Camilla Tominey. When, the cookbook came out and all of that, Camilla Tominey got this false information from some white supremacist guy and wrote this article in the Telegraph, linking the women at the Cup Community Kitchen to ISIS. And it was just so vile to do that. And so this is what she is referring to. I would never get over that. I will never get over what Camilla Tominey did. It was just so vile. And, it just... and I'm so happy that, that didn't shut down the kitchen, and the women, they have now gone on to, a lot of them having their own businesses, starting their own businesses, really living out the dreams that they wanted to live and that Meghan helped them to live. And of course, we know that through the cookbook, they were able to renovate their kitchen, and they're doing so many beautiful things. And even during the COVID, they were able to prepare all these meals for their community. It is amazing the things that these women do and have done as a part of the Hub Community Kitchen. And it's amazing. And to see someone like, and Ma Jones is saying, yes, are they still receiving funds from the book? Yeah, the book is still, I think the other day I saw that it was #1 again, I think because it was mentioned in the docuseries. Yeah, they're still getting, the money is still coming in from it. So I would assume it is, the Sussex is, because it originated in the Royal Foundation that Kate and William still have. I think the money goes to there, but it is restricted for only so that I understand, it's restricted to only go to them. Like, they cannot use that money for anything other than going to the Hub Community Kitchen. So that's what I understood from one of our squaddies who is great with budgeting and the end of year budget thing that they put out. That's what I understand it to be. So it just, it goes, like, it blows my mind how evil the things that they did to destroy the work that Meghan's doing. And again, look at the women and the people, not just women, men, children, that benefited from what Meghan did. And to know that royal reporters were going out of their way to destroy this work, going out of their way. And so it is unreal. Joy says the sale of the cookbook has gone up since the docuseries. Yeah, that's what I saw. Like, someone posted like a screenshot that it was #1, and I was like, oh my gosh. And yeah, it's a #1 bestseller. And so again, but whether that means it was #1 that day, at least that's what I understood it today. I didn't go into Amazon to look it up, so that's what I should have done before I'm speaking out of turn. But it says #1, so I will have to go in, or if you want to go in and check with Amazon and see where it is. But yes, money is still coming in from that, and kudos to that. I mean, I'm assuming it's over $1 million or whatever it's made so far. So yeah, yeah, so cool. Let's see. Diane says, thank God the cash is designated for the hub kitchen only, because otherwise Billy and would be joyriding and embezzling funds. Yeah, I think that's why they're restricted, and it could only go to them. They cannot put that money into anything else other than that. So yeah, and it's wonderful. And obviously, we saw one of the ladies. Oh, I could never remember her name, and I didn't think about talking about it in depth like this. And so I think her name is Munira. I think her name is that. She was the one that was speaking about it on in the documentary. And so I love those ladies. They are absolutely amazing. Let's see. Ihoma says, Meghan says that when change is about to happen, the rope will stretch tightest before it snaps. Oh, I love that so much. She did say that. So I am hoping the snap comes soon, because, gosh, it is tight right now. It is tight. So yeah, I'm hoping that snap comes soon. Then that would be amazing. I know a lot of pearls would be clutched, a lot of knickers would be in a twist, and a lot of plates and people would be flying across the room. So it will be something. It will be something. Let's see. Joyce says, Patricia, are you saying it has been confirmed by the Duchess camp about the interview with Anderson Cooper? Harry and Meghan have not confirmed anything as far as I know. At least you're talking to Patricia, but they have not confirmed anything. That is coming from the tabloid press. And so nobody knows for sure. Anderson Cooper hasn't said anything as far as I know. The Sussexes, obviously, we know they operate in stealth. They have not said anything. I also saw something today from the Times from Valentine Lowe, that horrible reporter with that fake bullying charges, claiming that right now Tom Bradby is recording his interview with Harry. Obviously, Tom Bradby has not said anything about it. ITV has not said anything about it. And the Sussexes obviously have not said anything about it. Right at this moment, people are guessing. Whether it turns out to be true or not, we don't know, because nobody has confirmed anything. So there we go. That's where we are. And I'm of there. If I hadn't heard it from the Sussexes, I'm going to just let it be. Now, would I love to see an interview with Tom Bradby? Of course. I love Tom Bradby and his relationship with Harry. Would I love to see an interview with Anderson Cooper? Absolutely. I would love it. I like Anderson Cooper. So I'm not against either one of it. I'm just, we just have no confirmation in any of it. So yeah. And wouldn't it be funny if Harry didn't do any? It's like, no, just read the book. You'll get what you need. Yeah. But anyways, let's see. What else is there? Do I have anything else? Oh, as with everything Sussex, the Daily Mail and the Ilks and in the British press will try to muddy it up. And so don't be surprised when you see this story, whether it gets bigger or not, I don't know. It probably, because it's stupid. It's just a stupid story. And so, as you may not have known, Richard Eden got caught using his burner account. And I didn't bring it in here because I was like, oh, I can't even. So he got caught using his burner account, and his burner account on Twitter is Maureen Ayers or something. So everybody has been making fun of Maureen and, putting a wig on him and all of that stuff. So in order to distract from the fact that he got caught in his burner account, Richard Eden decided that, he is going to go after, the Sussexes, and claiming that, see, Jacinda Ardern is withdrawing herself and distancing herself from the Sussexes project, which he's a part of in the Live to Lead. And Joyce, I'm going to take you off here for a second. And if I can only locate it. Here we are. There we go. Thank you, Joyce, for your comment. So anyway, so what happened, and which is what I thought, because I was wondering, I'm like, well, Ruth Bader Ginsburg died a long time ago, so they would have, the Sussexes would have been working on this since, a couple of years ago, whatever. So what exactly happened was, this came out, apparently there's a book, and I put the link for a little bit more information in our show notes. It's already there. So apparently there's a book about this, and so of a series of interviews, and then from that, the Nelson Mandela Foundation did some interviews, like on camera interviews with some of the people from that book, apparently. And some of those people are who are here, who are going to be part of Live to Lead. And they did that the interviews a few years ago. For example, Jacinda Ardern did her interview for the Nelson Mandela Foundation in 2019. So that was like 3 years ago. And so at the time she did it, obviously Harry and Meghan weren't part of the document of that. And so she said last year I think the Nelson Mandela Foundation contacted her and to let her know that the Sussexes they're going to be doing something with it. With her interview. And when she did the interview, she did it under the as with everything, she did it with the understanding that they can use the interview however they want, whether it's in print, whether it's on a video, whether it's in documentary, however they want. She gave them permission. She stands by the interview. I mean, it's a positive video, so she stands by it, and she was very happy to do it with the Nelson Mandela Foundation. And so now they have turned those interviews, and I'm assuming that those interviews with the others were done, maybe a couple of years ago as well. Obviously, we know Ruth Bader Ginsburg would have been done before she died. And so Jacinda Ardern was doing a press conference, I guess, and someone asked her, I think it was yesterday, because this dropped yesterday, or 2 days ago, they asked her about being in the documentary, and she said, well, actually, I didn't know about it in this form, in its documentary form. I didn't know about it until it dropped. So I guess they didn't contact her letting her know, or Netflix people or Sussex's people didn't contact her letting her know, which they didn't have to. She had already signed over the rights to the Nelson Mandela Foundation, and I guess which is who she went through, not the Sussexes. So I guess the Nelson Mandela Foundation didn't contact her, letting her know, okay, we're going to be using it as part of this Live to Lead documentary. So she basically just explained that she did it. She's like, when I did it, the Sussexes, I didn't have a contact with them before because we didn't really. They weren't part of it when I did the interview. And so I didn't know. So what the Daily Mail is trying to do now is like, Jacinda Ardern is distancing herself from the Sussexes. And so it is just a ridiculous thing. And it's just like, none of this is, so if you see this, just know what it is. And I put a link to the article. Again, this, the article, just a little bit from the article, it says New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern found out she was in the new documentary fronted by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle the same day the Netflix released a trailer for Live to Lead, a 7-part series fronted by the Sussexes, dropped on Tuesday to celebrate inspirational leaders, share messages of courage, compassion, humility, hope, and generosity. The trailer leaders from around the world, including interview with New Zealand Prime Minister, had done with Nelson Mandela Foundation in March 2019. They were producing resources for future leaders with the focus on young leaders, Ardern explained at the press conference on Wednesday. And the link to the article is in the show notes, so you can read the rest of the article there. But basically, that's all it is. It is just that she did it then. She was totally fine. She's like, I stand by I stand by it. I did it, and it's totally fine. I knew they were going to use it however they use it. They didn't have to let her know, but they let her know that that her team know that the Sussexes are part of it now last year, and so at least they know. So she's not distancing herself. She's just saying, I didn't know it was going to drop until it dropped. I didn't know that what form it was going to take. So of course the Daily Mail is trying to distract from Maureen, and Richard Eden is trying to distract from us finding out that he is Maureen. The squad is going home on that. So yes, he is embarrassed to say the least. And apparently he's been blocking people left and right who's been posting all these manips of him with a wig and calling him Maureen. So I'm telling you, it is just B10 Pal, they are definitely clutching at straws. They are definitely clutching at straws. It's just so it is so ridiculous. It is just like, Anyways, Baron says, Live to Lead is presented by Harry and Meghan. The Daily Mail is making it into something nefarious, which is exactly, I mean, whatever Harry and Meghan are doing, they're trying to muddy. They're trying to make it. And again, it seems to have not dawned on them that trying to make Harry and Meghan's projects look bad doesn't reflect good on the others. The others aren't doing anything, you know? So you look at a project, especially one like this, where it's about encouraging, inspiring, you know, and leaders sharing, you know, to inspire others. Why would you want to mess that up? Why would you, you know, how are you going to, you know, how you messing that up is going to reflect good on the royal family when everyone now know that they're in bed with you, you know? It's like common sense is nowhere in these people. It's not anywhere there. It's amazing. So, but anyways, but we are gonna finally it's I just saw this and I was like, for no reason, I was like, oh, the new African women's magazine quoting, and I love it when I see people quoting Meghan. She said, you'll hear, and of course we know this very popular quote that Meghan says, you'll often hear people say you're helping women find their voice, and I fundamentally disagree with that, because women don't need to find their voice. They have a voice. They need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. And boy, are we glad that Meghan has used her voice, and the change in people's, if nothing else right now, the change in people's attitudes have been immense. The change is like speaking out and not being afraid, and not buying into the, oh, they're royal, so you should shut up. Oh, you're bringing down a monarchy and all that nonsense, only so they can hide their misogyny, they can hide their racism, they can hide all of that with, oh, the royals are victims of being attacked. And I'm so happy they hadn't bought into that. So I am really, 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 really excited about that. And again, you know, Royal Sussex says, you're it, Baron. Harry and Meghan are producers and likely are involved in the Live to Lead editing process. They are executive producers. Usually executive producers are the money people that gets a project over the hump. This has been going on. They've, you know, again, this started before they came on. So this project has been going way before they came on. And so usually executive producers, especially in film, are the money people, the people that get it over the hump, the people that get it to, say, a Netflix. They'll get it out there, and you know, as they're doing fronting it, because they know their names attached to it mean that people are going to come. You know, I think of it in the same way, like Virunda, this documentary called Virunda, and it's a documentary about from Congo, about the guerrillas in Congo. And I remember when it came to New York and I was invited to one of their screenings, that's where I met one of my peeps from Congo. Went, and one of the big things that you will see with Veranda is that Leonardo DiCaprio is a producer. He came on after the fact. He was, you know, but he is the name and the money that's attached to it. That's why it became what, you know, in the sense of people knowing about it. So when you put a name like Harry and Meghan in front of a project like this, more eyes will see it than not. Because if you just put it out, yes, there are, you know, Greta Thunberg fans, and then there are Ruth Bader Ginsburg fans. But think in terms of, say, what you're just seeing with Harry and Meghan. You know, how many millions have literally are still watching Harry and Meghan docuseries? Those people might be inclined, at least half or more of those people would be more inclined to watch this than probably ever would if they weren't attached to it. So that is the value as executive producers coming on with the name and the audience and the name recognition that they bring. So yeah. So absolutely awesome. Let's see. But I just love that. I mean, you know, I love it when I see organizations quote Meghan. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. I'm gonna stay in the chat for a second and get what you guys are saying, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's see. And then tomorrow we'll talk about that trolling mess at I'm telling you, it is just like a three-ring circus in the UK with the press, the royal family, trolls. It's just, oh my goodness, it just gives you a headache. 1960 TLM. Oh, okay. Welcome. Says the BM and British media and the royal family act like they are in junior high school trying to fight for their popular spots, only to find out the popular kids, H&M, don't even know they exist. Or at least sue them into oblivion. The issue is they're fighting with hate. So true. So true. Because you read some of the commentary and you're like, are these adults? Could it be adults? I mean, it just like, are you serious? So yeah, it just Sheila says that is why they want Harry back, to stop his forbidden rise as a spare as they fall flat and fail. Meghan and her kids, they want wiped out. Yeah, I mean, nobody is talking about Earthshot. Nobody is talking about that whatever Christmas thing that they had. I mean, those things are just like, okay, whatever. And people have moved on and moved right back to Harry and Meghan. So yeah, it just, and there again, the spare is the one, all they had to do. All they had to do was embrace them, and all of this publicity, all of this goodwill would have been theirs. All they had to do. They kicked them out, and yet they're still famous, and they're taking away what they were afraid would be taken away when they were in there. And it's just like, oh my goodness. Talking about an own goal and a fail. It's unbelievable. Let's see. Joy says Netflix knows what it's doing. They have lawyers that know what they're doing. The Nelson Mandela Foundation has the rights if the interviews of the rights of the interviews, and they're in production with Archwell Foundation. Yeah, I mean, that is none of that stuff is an issue at all. It's just the Daily Mail trying to use just in their utterance saying that no, I didn't know about the, I guess the format that it took until I saw it drop yesterday. So they're trying to say like, oh no, she's trying to distance herself because she says that the interview I did was in 2019. It's just like, do you people even know how production works? Do you even know how documentaries work? Do you know how long you shoot stuff? Some documentaries take years to come together. Talk about film or documentary, years upon years to come together. And so something you filmed 4 years ago, you'll see it in the documentary and it's like, yeah, I filmed that years ago. It's like these people have no idea about production at all. And so, and that ignorance just comes shining through all the time. Let's say Terry 8 says it just shows their insecurities. They are so threatened by the Sussex's power. And that's the thing, they don't even need to be. You don't even need to be covering them. Why don't you take the time you spend stalking the Sussexes and focus on the people that you claim you care about? Because obviously you don't care about them, because if you did, you'd be focused on them. Why are you sending people to Montecito to stalk the Sussexes when you're literally not needed? Your voice is not needed at all. So it's unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Rachel San said the Obamas did similar, presenting the documentary they did not make but agree with. Yeah, they purchased documentaries. That's part of their what is it? What is their production company? I think it's called Stand Your Ground. No, I don't think it's Stand Your Ground. Oh, I forgot the name of their production company. Yeah, they purchase documentaries or whatever and bring it under their umbrella. And I think one of their documentaries actually won an Oscar. Was it nominated? I think it won an Academy Award. So yeah. And so that's what you do. That's Harry and Meghan literally have a production company. Some things you will produce yourself, some things you purchase. And that's how it is. It's just like, and already they have that in with Netflix, who they're, again, the Nelson Mandela Foundation would not get this worldwide mega thing with Netflix had it not been for Harry and Meghan and their relationship with Netflix. So again, why you need that, those kind of executive producers who can get your project over the hump and in front of people. So, let's see. Well, hello, sunshine. 7959. Welcome. Hello. Let's see. A couple more. Sunshine, I'm back to you. Ruth Lopez, she's talking to the idea that the tabloids are hoping that the daily onslaught of negative stories and gaslighting will discuss the Sussex squad and make whatever you're saying in the end. Yeah, good luck with that. That's not happening. So there. That is not happening. You're just looking stupid and you're making the royal family just expose themselves, which is what you're doing. So, B10 Pow says, I'm really fed up with the Daily Fail clutching the straws and to make news. I'm telling you, if the people of the UK are they are tired of it's time to stop and get rid of them. And the only people with the power to do that are the people. So there you go. Let's see. Joy says the second docuseries is the Nelson. Oh, okay. She's just saying Nelson Mandela working with Archwell Foundation. So the interviews will be interviews that had already been completed. Yeah, which is exactly what happened. Yep, absolutely. Let's see. Liz Lily says, Maureen Gate reminds me. Maureen Gate reminds me of when Dr. Tessa Dunlop said, Richard, I know you're a Kate and Middleton fan. You're a Kate and Middleton kind of gal. And she didn't correct herself. Tessa knows something. She did say that. I think this was one of her things when she called Sophie Ford Fiesta. That's where we got Ford Fiesta from. When she she associated the Sussexes as a Lamborghini and called Sophie Wessex Ford Fiesta. But she did say, but yes, Maureen, man. And he is desperately trying to distract from Maureen Gate. Desperately. Evangelist Mary, Evangelist Mary Ward, the Brown Ministry. Wow, honored to have you here, Evangelist Mary Ward. Welcome. She says the next for Harry and Meghan is the Nobel Peace Prize. Oh my goodness, we've been saying that since the end of Invictus. They deserve it because of all the hate and all the good they do for those less fortunate than them. I am so here with you on that. We have been saying that since the end of Invictus. And I would totally see them at, oh my goodness, Shutter Island will shut down if that happens. Heads will explode. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine the headlines. I could only imagine the headlines, what it's going to be if that happens. Oh, my word. Joyce says, I don't think there would be any interviews about the book until after the 24 years of leak. After the 24 years of leaks. Would I be shocked if there are none? No. Would I be shocked? Would I, be happy if there is? Yeah, of course. The difference with which is why I think there would be, if there's going to be an interview, there would be one, because with a docuseries, you can just, edit up a couple of clips together and you call it a day. You don't have to do an interview for that because that sells it. A book, not so much, because it's word on a page. And so an interview, which, they could do something other than an interview. They could come up with something creative about the book, clips from a book and make it into something. I don't know. But because it's not, something filmed, that's why I think I wouldn't be surprised if he does interviews to promote it. That might be part of the deal with the publishers as well, to at least do some couple of things to promote it. So for me, if he does, would be great. If it's Anderson Cooper or Tom or Tom Bradby, I'm good. I like both of those people. So, and I think they would do a great job. So, Puma Rose 71, thank you so much for your donation. It says, in moving in silence, Sussexes are leaving no room to be undermined by the institution. They're staying several steps ahead at all times. Exactly. And that's why they don't like them. They can't control them. And that's why they're driving them crazy. They cannot control them. Who knew this new docuseries was coming out? So, yeah. But, yeah. Oh, hi, Melina. It's like, hi, squaddies from Africa. Hello there. Hello to you, my awesome squaddies in Africa, on the African continent. Sunshine's, oh, she's saying, Penelope was trying to say that the tabloids are trying to make us tired with constant onslaughts of negative news and gaslighting, so we will stop supporting the Sussexes. That is very true. They are definitely. It's kind of like a Trump kind of thing. Trump did that a lot. If he just dumped a whole bunch of stuff at you, the thing is that you get so tired that you would stop fighting. Sorry, but the squad is not going to stop fighting. I think they are probably figuring that out by now. They are probably figuring out that now. Look, when we're tired, we have squaddies all over the world. When I'm tired and need some rest, there are squaddies who are in other part of the world that are just waking up. And when I get up, other squaddies can go to sleep. So that's how it is. That's why we're not going to be tired, because we're all over the world. We're not in, say, the UK. We're not in one time zone. So good luck with that. Let's see. Mia Sylvester says, Squatties, can we recommend Harry and Meghan for the Nobel Prize? I don't know. I've never looked into it. So if anyone is available to look into that, I would definitely be recommending. I think definitely. If only to see the meltdown. That's me being petty. So there. Let's see. Evilly says, oh, thank you, Petal. No matter these evil tabloids and racist people, the Sussex will racist people, the Sussex will survive in Jesus' name. Amen. And I say amen and amen and amen to that. So yep, thank you so much. So just before we end, just to let you know, as a couple people had asked me about the doing a Christmas wish list, which I hadn't thought about, and I appreciate you guys even suggesting or recommended that I do that. But I appreciate you guys so much for even thinking about that. So what I thought, instead of an Amazon wish list, I do have a soap store that it's right now, I'm redoing it. So it's literally closed. And so I thought, well, if you are doing something for me for Christmas, you can get something back in return. And I have very, very limited supplies for my soaps. And so if you're interested in doing it, thank you so much. Again, you don't have to do any of that. But if you are, I put the link. It's at the top of the chat here. And also it's in the show notes of this video, and it's also in the community page. At least in the community page, you'll see photos of the soaps that's in my shop. So again, if I run out of supplies, I will need to restock, and it'll take me about 10 days to get, but you will get your soaps. I again have very limited amount of it, because again, I shot it so I can redo it and to open it back next year. So thank you again, even for thinking. I mean, I just wouldn't even think of that. But thank you again so much for even suggesting that. So again, link is in the community page. You can see the soaps if you want to, but I appreciate it and I like them. They're really cool. I think really cool soaps. It's all that I use. So there you go. And I don't think I've ever even talked about that on here other than the last couple of episodes. So yeah. Anyways, again, if you're new here and haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell so you know when we drop a video. Please like and share this video. And or you can join, if you're able to, the Sussex or 2 Cents Crew. That would be awesome. Thank you so much to our awesome moderators, Lydia, Church, Nelly, Karen M, Cookies and Cream. Thank you guys so much for all the amazing thing you've done. Oh my goodness, we could not do this without you. Just keeping the chat safe and fun, light, and everything out. I appreciate you guys so much for everything that you do for the channel. Thank you to our 2 Cents Crew members who donate to the channel out of kindness of your hearts. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much again. Really, out of the you didn't have to do any of that. So thank you. And also to all of you who given to whether it's super chat, super stickers, super thanks. I'm telling you, I appreciate you so much for all the ways that you have given to the channel. I appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. I love you all. Have a fantastic day. I will see you all tomorrow, and we can talk about Palace and their troll mess in every single way. Oh yes, we got more. So anyway, I love you guys, And I will see you all next time. Have a fantastic day. Bye.